This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, good afternoon. Today is March 27th, 2025. We're calling the meeting to order at 12:30 for the Senior Center Building Committee. So welcome, everyone. Good to see you all on a sunny day here. Anybody here for public comment? Apparently not. Approval of minutes. Oops. I'll call you back. Bye. I think I just pocket called my brother. Okay. Any thoughts on the minutes, or? I think the only thing.
My thoughts were they were very difficult to write.
Yeah.
Because
we did a darn good job.
We did the motions like 4 or 5 times, so I'd listen and I'd type up what we said. I'm like, that's not what we ended up with. So, anyway, just so you know, what else did you have? We did.
I feel like the notes have been tough for the last month.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you on board. Just
Yes.
say nobody else was stepping up. So is there anything in letter F? I don't know if the town meeting is in September, do we say, or is it in the fall, or possibly September? It hasn't been firmed, so.
Where does it say that?
Letter F.
Oh, in September.
Yeah.
Likely in September.
Yeah, something that's, it's not 100%, so. I don't want to mislead anybody.
Anybody have an
So.
extra copy of that?
Yeah.
I don't have a copy.
I need this copy because
This is my copy.
I'm marking it up.
I can move this around, Jerry, if you want to read it here.
We're good. He's got one.
Okay. I just make 5 sets and
Yep.
to share,
I would bring one.
and so. Could we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Darcy, a second.
Second?
Second, Dennis. Any additional discussion? Let me give Jerry a second, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
And we don't need a roll call vote, right?
No, because you're in person.
Gotcha.
You don't have anybody on the screen, so that's good. Okay, I just wanted to kind of talk about any thoughts about the special town meeting, any observations, any thoughts about, kind of leads into our next steps. Comments?
I guess the only comment that I left with was when Scott got up and said that in the future we're probably going to put them together, that's when I heard a lot of murmuring around me saying, why won't we separate those? So my expectation is that that's going to be agenda number 1, to separate them. I could be wrong.
Just a thought, just
Just a thought.
sharing. Yep. Darcy, that looked like you were going to say something.
Oh, just, it's a little compared to that, but I liked their handouts, so I kept them just because I thought they did a very nice job with their handouts. But yeah, my only thoughts, and I was only there for the first part because I had to get somewhere else, so I was just there for the first vote. But I thought, the good thing for us is we're not separating our funds into 2 separately. We're only going to go for the final. But yeah, I think it seemed to be, kind of a bit of a mixed bag in the room.
Yeah, definitely.
And when we were leaving, there was a group of about a dozen people outside, and they were grumbling about the taxes, what that was gonna do.
I heard that coming in too.
Yep.
Don't expect that.
Yeah, not surprising, right?
Valid.
Right.
No, right, yeah.
Right.
I didn't like the comment about people not being around in 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't
Anybody
go-
here plan on being here in 30 years? Kate?
Hey,
I'm
yeah.
sure as heck hope so.
Scott?
So you are planning on being here.
I am, but I just don't
But yeah, that was quite, my thought was in 30 years, you'll appreciate that we did this for you 30 years ago. So.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And you don't have to, on a fixed income, you don't have to worry about paying for it.
He
So,
was the same person at the meeting.
yeah, there's some.
They were disruptive at the tables.
That's been the biggest point of feedback that I've heard, at least at the center, how just vocally upset people are about that comment.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I got that. I got a couple phone calls on that.
Yeah,
I don't know the person, so
yeah, there's been a
I
number of
couldn't,
people that have complained about that comment.
what are you gonna do about it though?
I think they're just,
I
yeah,
don't blame
They need to
them.
vent.
I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, that person's been very vocal about the schools, which I'm not saying schools shouldn't have money, but also we have a huge population of seniors that over the years have paid taxes going to the schools. And now when they're asking for something, you're gonna, you know.
yeah.
Be concerned.
At the
Or
senior center,
verbally
is there
abusive.
concern still about the tax increase?
I mean, I think that's just a general
Just-
concern.
yeah.
To be honest with you, I think I've heard good feedback about the handout that was given out at the meeting. They put things into a lot of context for people, especially because you know what your property values are. So I think that was extremely beneficial, so thank you for that.
That's all Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good to get everything
Yeah.
out, you know, so you're not
Yeah.
blindsiding people out 5 minutes before they take a vote. So that's not going to happen. So people are going to have their time to think about it and whatever, so.
And that's one of the other good reasons that it wasn't all lumped together. It does give people a few months to kind of calculate things and, you know, for the actual construction costs. So I know there was some pushback about why not combine them all, but, you know, let's get through phase one and then, you know, you have some time to kind of contemplate all the information instead of 15 minutes before you vote or something,
Yeah.
so.
And I think especially with that chart, people think, they hear one number, like $700 a year, and they think worst case scenario when they might fit into that 200 or 300 bracket based off of, it kind of, I don't know, I think that eased some folks' minds, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
And then when you divide it quarterly or whatever,
Yeah.
it's not quite so difficult to shift.
Digestible.
And I think too, with the real estate market starting to level out, where, you know, the assessments are always a year behind the real estate market. So people really kind of past 3 years have been hit, you know. So now I think as they see it start to level out, there maybe won't be that same concern about it's going up every year and now it's going up more.
Okay.
I have a question about the vote. Is that a majority vote?
The vote, yes. At
The
the
vote
ballot,
is
yes. You
majority.
can win by one or lose by
Okay.
one. So, yeah, it's a majority. Democracy. Okay. So some of the next steps for the senior center building for us. So one of the things I heard from a public safety member is that they're taking some initiatives to create a municipal group or something, Scott. I think you gave them some direction.
Municipal ballot question
Committee. And I guess I'm just wondering if this group wants to help them, the public safety group, and support them and see if we can help them in this initiative before the ballot in May. So
What's
I
it called?
municipal ballot,
Ballot.
What? Ballot, what?
Initiative.
something
I
in
thought it
it.
was 4 words. No?
Municipal ballot question committee.
Of committee.
Municipal
Ballot
question
committee.
Okay.
Another one to learn. MBQC.
And what's the reason? I'm
Well,
already
this,
thinking-
yeah, I'll turn it to Scott because I've heard it third hand. So, or Scott or Chris, Chris is on the committee, the public safety.
So for the Office of Campaign and Political Finance, any 2 or more individuals or entities that pool resources to support or oppose a ballot question should form an official committee where you have to report certain things to the, just like a candidate has to report
Yep.
expenditures and receipts. You basically do the same for them.
So are folks in this committee able to participate in that or because, yeah, so,
So you could serve on both committees, so it's a separate thing. Just like if like the school committee wanted to do an override, they would serve on
Okay.
the political override part of it. Just any employees, we have to be careful not to do any money
Okay, so it's-
or anything like fundraising, stuff like that.
direct employees more or less versus committees. So the goal of them is to get signage, maybe to reach out to the community I don't know all the details, but if there's anything, my feeling that, that's what I want to know about the whole group, if you be interested in helping them with that initiative to get that first step across the finish line in May at the ballot. So, I mean, I'd like to support them. That's me personally, that's not me as a member of this committee.
I'd like to
so-
support them. I think I'm jumping on Scott's whole initial thing of phasing. This is a phasing kind of thing, you know? That's phase number 1. So,
Right.
yeah, I would like to support that in any way I can, sure.
So just to be clear, this has got to be organized by somebody, like, from the Public Safety Building Committee.
Right.
It can't be anybody on that committee now, right?
They can serve dual purposes.
They can't. I thought it said it had to be like a Friends of the Committee or something.
No, they would still be able to voice and be part of the committee.
Are they raising money to buy
Yeah.
signs and stuff? So can you raise money if you're part of the Public Safety Building Committee? That's not a
I don't think
conflict.
you can.
Not the employees can't.
But committee people can?
I believe committee people should be able to.
Okay. I thought that's where we were going to have to try and talk to the Firemen's Association and stuff like that to see if we could steal it.
Well, they can donate to the public safety municipal ballot question committee.
I think there's some problem with that money thing.
And how would one go about donating to that committee if one wanted to?
So the committee would have to organize, fill out a form with OCPF. They would have to appoint a treasurer, and they would open up a bank account. You have to watch a 4-minute tutorial online. Officially, if not, you prior to conducting any activity, please watch this 4-minute tutorial. And then, you know, anyone from LLCs, individuals, corporations, partnerships, they can all contribute to it. Ballot question committees can't contribute to candidates. There's a whole list of things.
And so this would not be an account set up at the town, but at East Hampton Savings Bank, for example. So very similar to what I had to do when I ran for select board.
Right.
And Ted was my treasurer.
Okay. So Ted did that.
And we
Gotcha.
had to, you know, do reports, I forget, quarterly or whatever, to campaign finance.
Okay. So just to, not asking people to make a decision today, but be aware that it's available, and if anybody is interested in supporting that, or putting a sign in your yard, or whatever else is Cindy going to be the leading person on that? Does anybody know?
She's talking about it.
She's talking, not decided yet, so we'll keep you informed, but I mean, I think it's important.
It's early stages. I mean, it just
Yeah.
got brought up really at the last meeting. so,
Right, like Monday.
Yeah, and so I think we don't know how it's going to take shape yet.
Okay, so we got a little under 2 months, right? Just under 2 months to.
Maybe. I think that brings us to a new topic, honestly.
Okay.
So the school budget came in for Norris at around 18% this year.
18% increase
Increase?
18%
Increase?
the request. Yeah.
from Norris, just Norris?
Just
not
Norris.
the-
Just ours.
That would be catastrophic to the town budget. We obviously we're not able to absorb that. We're barely able to absorb a 4% without cutting people. So the school committee's been meeting. Essentially, it looks like unless they cut around 10 positions to make up for the budget deficit or the request, it's not really deficit, they would have to ask for an override. And that override would likely be scheduled for May 20th, which would put the Public Safety Building Committee at a difficult position to have both questions on the ballot at the same time. So if the school does go forward with that and select board has to approve any override, obviously, it also has to go through town meeting. It may be postponing the $3.2 million vote and just waiting until fall for the full amount.
Okay.
Is there a reason that you can share why it's such a huge?
Is that a lot, this Chapter 70 funds have been cut, or no?
No, we've got more Chapter 70 funds. It's $400,000 in salaries.
Contractually.
Contractual salaries, about $400,000 in sped costs, 100,000 in central office costs, and a little bit of maintenance.
It's around 800,000,
900.
8 or so, yeah, $100,000 more, but that's equivalent, that's equivalent to about an 15 to 18% increase, somewhere in that range. And we had budgeted 4% just to,
Right.
but this is still. So they had a meeting last night, and they voted on whatever they voted on last night to present to select board, which we haven't seen yet. And they'll be having their public hearing on Tuesday night up at the school, which is something they're required to do, which is public hearing, public input.
Is that, again, Hampshire or Norris?
Norris.
So when does the other shoe drop?
So Hampshire was only a 4.74% increase.
Oh, okay.
We factored them in, actually.
Oh, okay,
right? I
so-
mean, we've covered them.
They're good, okay.
So this
Okay.
was the one that was,
I wish it was a little bit less, but we can live with it.
yeah.
Yeah, right, right. Wow, so the contractual stuff was a big part of it,
Seems
but
to
the
be.
contractual stuff didn't affect the Hampshire Regional that as much?
They have a different contract. Also, the way the assessments are done is a little bit different. So
Okay.
So this public hearing is Tuesday evening then, if people
And that's
have,
up at the library, yeah. That's school library. Yeah.
it's
So
at,
we have-
at Hampshire then?
No, no.
It's
no,
here in the
Norris.
school library?
Norris.
Okay.
Norris. It's
Gotcha.
the Norris School Committee meeting.
Yeah, no, right, right.
Norris, let me just.
Didn't think that
The
library was big
Norris
enough.
public hearing, I'm pretty sure, let me just double check that, now that I said that. Hold on. So last night, Norris School Committee met, and they voted on their budget. We, Select Board, will be meeting on Thursday next week, because Tuesday night is already taken with about 5 other meetings.
One of which is the public hearing for Norris.
I'm sorry, we're meeting after their public hearing on the 4th. Third.
Location,
They're just gonna.
location.
The time of the
Oh.
meeting.
Time, location. Let's ask you a few more
Been to
questions
too
at the
many
same time.
meetings.
It's like, what day is it anyway? Hang on. That's a bonus. School committee.
Seems like every town's going
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, there's a
School
lot.
committee local, so yeah, it's at 5:30, public hearing 5:30 at Norris Library on April 1st. And it's basically the only budget item is the public hearing for the local school committee FY26 budget. And we'll say, right after that, at 7 o'clock here is the town caucus to nominate people to run for office if they haven't pulled their papers. And we've got about 28 openings on various committees.
That haven't had papers pulled?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I didn't
I'm just saying the openings.
Yeah, no, I understand. I didn't know
Some
if
have
maybe-
pulled, I have, no, I'm not getting
Yeah,
into that. I have no idea.
Okay.
But,
Just
yeah,
clear.
so there's definitely challenges, there's, vacancies on various committees and boards. So people who didn't pull their papers, which requires you to get 32 signatures, you can come and be nominated from the floor at town caucus. And that's from 7 to 9 p.m. It doesn't last that long. Lucy has to keep the ballot open or the voting open until 9 p.m. So she stays until 9 p.m. We're gone probably within half an hour, 45 minutes. So anyway, just to say that those two things are happening on Tuesday, which is why Select Board pushed its meeting
Yeah,
till
Thursday. Okay.
So, public hearing, so if you want to go up to Norris, 5:30 on Tuesday, go for it. And then caucus here at 7.
And is there, and maybe you probably don't have the answer, you probably have the answer, the reason the special ed stuff is going up so much is we have more kids coming in, just the cost of cares?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I just thought, well, it's just one line item.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see the detail.
Okay. I mean, I had seen on Facebook, and I don't know if it's going to go through, that Rep. Sabadosa is proposing that the state absorb the cost of, I think, either special ed transportation or transportation to vocational schools. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that would help us a tiny bit. But by the time that gets passed,
Yeah. it's
Maine will
not
be
gonna affect
come and
this
gone,
Yeah.
gone, and so.
But I think, Scott's point is, with this, and we haven't had a meeting now with public safety to even talk about this part.
Oh, I
This has
see.
all just been happening in the
Oh,
last
okay.
3 days, basically. I mean, we knew they were struggling, but we weren't confident that they would have to come in for an override, but that's what it's certainly looking like. So the chief and or the co-chairs know that that's the possibility, but we haven't met to talk about what does it mean, but I think, I can't imagine going to a vote and having both an override, which is a permanent
Yeah.
increase on your taxes,
Yeah.
which you figured was $400?
45.
$4,500 is a permanent increase, and, which we were just gonna do the OPM and architect for public safety, which was gonna be about,
70-ish.
yeah, $70. And that's a debt exclusion, so that's on, then it goes off eventually. But the school, as an override, would be a permanent increase on taxes, so.
Okay.
I can't even imagine the discussion. Oh, it would be, if not a discussion, it's a
can
vote,
imagine.
it's a ballot. I mean, it would be.
So would select board makes that final determination whether, how to
Yeah.
play with
Okay,
these?
Yep, so the select board has to approve it. They have to obviously, FinCom as well, they have to present it to town meeting. Town meeting has to approve both budgets, and then one budget if it's approved as a override and one if it's not.
Okay.
And town meeting is still on a Tuesday, even though we voted to change till Saturday. When we do bylaw changes, it takes the Attorney General 90 days to approve any changes we've made. So switching our town meetings to a Saturday won't happen until at least the fall. So therefore, our town meeting, annual town meeting is May 6th. Town election is May 20th.
Actually, the select board would have to call for the special election from override by April 15th, 35 days in advance.
Oh, right, because, yeah,
Who calls for that?
Select board.
yeah, we have to go. Yeah, it becomes a special election, even though it's tied in with town election.
Right, the special ballot question.
Because it's a ballot question, yeah. We've got to make that determination by April 15th.
What is your, my calendar?
Call for it,
Special election. When you've got an override, you've got to, it's. gotta
even
be-
though it's at the town meeting? Oh, it's a special election, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even though we would be coming together on election day, May 20th, to elect
It's
officers,
May 20.
because we would be putting a budget question on the ballot, that has to be done further ahead of time as a special question or whatever vote.
So that said,
So they
Take
need,
a
I'm
deep
sorry, let me
breath.
back up. You need to do it by April 15th?
Yeah, the select board needs
Yep,
to.
okay.
do the-
I'm just trying to get this right, so I don't
Yeah.
have to listen
Yep,
to the
no,
whole
that's
thing
good.
again.
so fun.
So that, slides things to the fall, which is,
So I guess that, what we're gonna do, whether we, is strategically,
I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think, in anticipation of something, I think that doesn't prevent us from still moving forward with paperwork preparation, right? For OPMs and architectural people.
RFPs
All that
and
stuff
things like
can be done over the next 6 months until we get to the fall. So that, it's not totally wasted time. It's, time to get ready on certain things that have to happen anyway.
so we may have to form our own municipal ballot initiative group for the fall and kind of work,
Maybe. I mean,
In conjunction.
I don't know. I don't even know where to begin to advise you.
yeah, okay,
Wow.
TBD.
The option, right, would be, so as Scott's presenting it now, we'd likely try to vote, special election, special town meetings, we already had, we'd have a special town meeting to go for the full amount, right? For the public safety, right? So you still need a special town meeting and then a vote on that, so say September, and then a vote in November or something like that, just because people know November is election month in general, even though there's no elections that they would come for normally this year. That would put the full amount of the public safety building on that ballot. Yeah. And it could be just that, or it could be that,
Right.
and then a second question on the
Senior center.
cost for building senior center.
Yep.
And not combined?
No, the way this is going, I'm not sure that I would do
Okay,
that.
because
Be risky
We
even
talked
for
about
us
it
to.
previously.
I
money.
have, but life has changed drastically in the last month.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Given, I mean,
I agree.
it's
So
a
we're
risk no
likely
matter which way you go,
separating-
but I think separating for two separate questions would be probably better. And honestly, the cost of the senior center is so much less than the public safety one.
Relatively,
It works in your favor a little bit, but, and again.
It's a bargain.
Yeah. well,
Such a deal.
I mean,
Such a deal.
as we presented at town meeting, right, by combining, just for public safety, combining the OPM, which was about $70 per year on the average household, and about $550 on the construction cost, so say $600,000 public safety debt exclusion. For senior center, you worked out was about $175 or something? So
164.
165. That would be the senior center for the 12 million debt exclusion. So, it's favorable in a sense, that would be, to separate it because it looks, well, it is less, but, the overall impact then is 600 plus 175, so 775 as a debt exclusion on everybody's taxes over the 25, 30 years.
it could be a detriment to the public safety complex if people think, all right, this is gonna be cheaper to get the, I don't know,
I know,
many ways to look at it.
I know,
guess.
there's umpteen other ways to look at it. I don't know how you figure that
I
out.
don't,
But if you
I
add
think
them
that's
together, it's a
possible, but
detriment
I don't
to.
think
Yeah, I
it-
don't, I mean,
It's a possibility.
I think the
Probably
emphasis
not.
is on the safety.
it is, I
yes.
agree.
So, yeah, so I think there's a whole lot more head scratching and strategizing to be done throughout the summer, frankly. If we all had a crystal ball, it would be nice.
We've said that in other meetings.
I know.
I have to get mine out of the attic, apparently.
Crystal ball's getting foggier and foggier as we go here.
Okay, well, thanks for that update.
Thanks for it.
Well, it's important to know.
It is, of course.
Thanks a lot.
That's some fun news.
Yeah, exactly. Reality setting in.
Reality of what we were dealing with today.
Yep.
So the other thing, as far as next steps, I'm just curious from Darcy and Kate, kind of where's the schedule with the land use planner?
So we don't have another meeting set. The surveys do close on April 4th, so I'm assuming.
I didn't get a I don't know what you mean.
You can go online, there's a survey.
Oh, so is there any notification about that? How do
about the
people know
survey.
that there's
It
a
was announced
survey?
at the workshop,
Yeah.
or at the,
Couldn't go to.
and I think it's been spoken to at most
Yeah, it's
select
on
board
the
meetings,
Facebook,
but
no, it's not on Facebook, but it's also, it's on
It's
the
on
town
the
website.
Southampton Facebook page? I didn't see anything about
haven't
it.
seen it on
I
the
I think
Southampton
there's not
page.
enough information
Okay.
out there
about
about,
the survey.
because that was a question I had, it's like, I didn't
Oh, yeah?
get
Okay.
a survey. I don't know how
We
it
can put
would
it out,
come
if you
out.
want to say, we're going to put it back out.
Is that under special projects or something?
Things get buried.
It is, yeah, and
It's under
I,
special something,
yep,
right?
and I had emailed it to our full listserv as well.
Yeah.
Right, I found it
Yeah.
finally, but it
And
wasn't
after, if you
that
go
easy.
to,
Like our
honestly,
senior
on
center
the,
emails.
if you go on the home,
Which I probably have my time on one.
They probably type on it, and we have to change your info. So that's, I mean, there was a kind of a schedule set up when they did the last workshop. Is that still accurate? I
So
mean,
it looks as though there might be a meeting that's getting scheduled after Easter, that week after
Yeah,
Easter.
and then I think the next public meeting will be in the first part of May.
okay.
So just push back a little bit from that. Too bad.
No, no.
And then what was
They're
that?
in the
first
design
one?
phase right now, so there's.
Another public meeting,
Okay.
early May.
There's some very preliminary drawings, but so they are moving forward pretty quickly with that.
Okay.
and so there would be a meeting with the various committees first to present those options.
So we would schedule
So
them
maybe
in
this is
a,
what the page looks like, College Highway Land Development, and then take the survey.
We have
How
printed
did you-
copies available in the senior
Yeah,
center too.
I know.
We've had an extra.
I just, I'm
But maybe
concerned
they didn't do that
if
well.
people don't go to meetings or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Most
No, I
people
agree.
don't.
Yeah.
I've been gone. They might not even know about it.
Might have gotten
Can you put it on the
every
board out
post comes up,
there,
yeah,
like the
drops down
Is
from-
there a
Mothers
way to,
Club board or something?
Mother Club doesn't
Or this
exist
one,
anymore.
that-
yeah, I
the
saw
window
that.
went down.
I saw that. I'm like, oh, what
Can we put it out,
Right
survey?
Can you put
Remember
it
to
right
take
out
the
here?
survey?
Yeah, we
I
can
mean, is
certainly
that-
get some reminders on that.
I mean, people still say they don't see things, you know, I mean.
What
it's
if, this
still-
one here,
that one right here.
who is in charge? Is that the fire
Lions
department?
Club.
The Lions Club.
Well, the one in front of the fire department is the fire department.
That's
one
that's the
here-
one I was pointing to, not the
Yeah,
one over
I know.
by
Well, then
Conroy
it's
Meadow.
appropriate for the fire department.
No, no, this one out here in front of the
With the
building
letters.
is Lions Club. So, just as a, yeah, I thought to get as much feedback.
I'll send another reminder.
Go down there and give you my right email.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest challenge of any town is to, for people that aren't engaged at all, to
Right.
try to get
them
them the
engaged.
information.
Yeah.
We've been
Right,
handing
so-
out the paper copies. I think last week we had like 25 or 26 turned in, so we've been manually popping those in. Which has been good.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, you hit the old crew.
I'm not catching
You mean
that.
Wednesday coffee?
Yeah.
We did, and bingo. And health going.
The actual town Facebook.
Wait, you interrupted a bingo game to talk?
No, I did it right before.
Oh,
Yeah, so they waited.
I want to do that.
Hey, you're
Get your head cut off.
brave.
I did 5 minutes before they started.
in your hand.
They're a dedicated crew.
Oh, bingo, that's what I like that.
Okay, so we did get the quote, the updated cost from PMC, and I can't remember if I sent that out to everybody. Yeah, I did, okay. I was gonna send it again, I will, let me check, so, that's, so everybody has that to
Fill
review.
mine out anyway. Carolyn Giroux got her filled out too.
So as far as our next steps, I guess we'll wait for the public, or the land use planners to kind of want to meet with us to talk about their
Makes sense.
perception, and do we have a sense of when that for the committees would be at this point in time, or
Not quite sure yet,
not quite sure?
but it's going to be moving in the next month or two.
Okay,
Yeah, so we are getting slowly to the actual like visioning part of it, like rough draft.
okay.
Good.
So, like the placement, everything where both are going, that'd be good.
And it's options at this point, so there's not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so,
But you were saying that our next forum would be when?
we're gonna have a committee meeting in April, and the next public forum would be the first part of May.
So sometime in April, we ought to be
Should get together.
Yeah,
which is not very far away.
like next week. Okay. So any other business that can't wait that we need to know about? So maybe I-
Anybody have anything positive to say?
You'll all be invited to a
Sunny out.
volunteer appreciation event,
April 24th.
April 24th at 2 p.m.
Where?
So, at the senior center.
You know?
Yeah, we're gonna meet in the tall grass, Carl.
Digging our own holes, the building. We're gonna have a reception that afternoon. It's volunteer appreciation month in April, so.
Nice.
Wanna say
Thank you for doing that.
Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m.
So any other thing on anybody's mind or agenda that they'd like to cover today before we schedule?
You'll remind me.
Okay, so let's think about our next meeting then.
Next official meeting versus the next
I
meeting.
really don't.
Yeah, our next
Land
meeting.
use people, our next meeting.
Well, I mean, it could,
Facebook chatter and all that crap.
would we schedule our meeting and they'll try to come to us, or shall we? Scott, do you think? I'm trying to look to see what our next meeting might be.
Well,
Would it be like?
what about the
10th,
17th?
17th,
Yeah, looking at the
24th.
17th, because the 24th is a volunteer luncheon, so I don't want to mess
That
up
would be
Kate's.
bad.
Things weird.
We'd be done in time, hopefully, but
17th sounds like a good day.
17th?
It's a Thursday?
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
April 17th, 12:30, does that work for everybody's schedule? April 17th at 12:30 for our next meeting?
When is school
Hopefully-
vacation? Is that
The
that
week
week?
of the 21st.
Oh, the next week, okay. Yeah, then I'm good.
21st is Tuesday.
Interrupted my wife's birthday today.
She has having another birthday?
No, she just had her. Yours
I
was
know,
last
I
month.
know.
Hers is this month.
Oh, okay.
Today.
Ah, nice. And hopefully we can get the land use planners to come to that, Scott, possibly? Would they make 2 trips, or,
I can check.
I mean, they're in Northampton, right? I mean, if, Otherwise, I mean, I don't know if there's any urgent things in April that, I guess we need to know what the final decision is for the Maytown meeting and the ballots and stuff, so. Otherwise, we're kind of on hold.
Have they given a date for the subcommittee or?
Not yet, we were just scheduling everything yesterday after.
I don't remember having this much fun when I was a town meeting member, mind you.
Okay, anything else, or do we have a motion to adjourn? Chris, second?
Second.
It's usually everybody. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
At 1:05.
105.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.